Hi, friend. It's been a long break since I've talked about yoga teacher training, but I'm back. We are back in it. And so I only have 6 more weekends of yoga teacher training left. It's crazy. So we left the month of December open to have family time and there's holiday travel, all that stuff. So we didn't have any yoga teacher training in December. So we're back at it in January, and the word that I have come up with for weekend number 7 is togetherness. And so why I picked that word, I have a few things. And so just so you know, I don't think I've ever explained how I'm doing this, but every day after I have yoga teacher training, so the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I get in my car and I do a voice recording of myself on the drive home. And it's my debrief before I get home, and I just kind of go over everything that I learned because we forget things when we have time in between. So what I do is I record myself, and one of my favorite things that I said about this weekend was, literally I said this to myself, "Holy bananas, it's coming together." And I said it just in that tone in my voice memo, and it was hilarious to me. So what I mean is that all of this information that I learned in the first 3 months of yoga teacher training was so much anatomy. There were so many voice recordings that I had of like, I don't know how I'm going to retain this information. It's too much. I don't understand. It's so much anatomy. It's so much about poses and how the anatomy affects poses and all of these things. And brain was just filled, right? It's freaking coming together now because we're talking about sequencing and theming a class. And so it's not a surprise to me at all. I just never thought about it, but it's not a surprise to me at all that this is going to be my favorite part because it's all about planning. I think about how often from the marketing perspective, I like love a plan and I want to give people a plan and here's what you can follow and just do these steps and it's going to work out, and how much I just really enjoy that. So why would I not think that sequencing and theming was going to help me understand how to teach a class? And just like, I think about how much this parallels of how much I would teach marketing to a yoga teacher, and it's so simple when I think about it like this. Whether you're a planner or not, I seriously doubt, and I highly don't recommend this, going to your first class to ever teach and not having a plan. Everybody makes choices, and if you make that one, I don't think that's the right choice. So having a plan is so important, and that's the same thing that I take from a marketing perspective is when you're first starting out, when you're figuring out this marketing of yoga and yourself as a personal brand, having a plan helps you. And then once you have that plan, then you can totally wing it and go out on your own. Because once you've taught 400 classes, not even 400, maybe it's 10 classes, once you've taught so many classes, you can walk into a yoga studio and totally wing a class because you know the system and it's really ingrained in you. So same idea with that, and I just really enjoy the idea of planning, and so it's no surprise that I have all of this love for sequencing and theming. And so in my yoga teacher training, which is Everyone Yoga School in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they are teaching this bell curve of what to include in a sequence. And my favorite thing, oh my gosh, I just could have done a happy dance, was that there is literally a breakdown of how many minutes each thing should have. Mind blown, so awesome, love that so much. Because to a beginner yoga teacher, I don't know how many minutes something should be, and that is so helpful. So I don't know if every yoga teacher training and school does that, but mine does, and that means I chose the right one for me. So I'm really enjoying it. And then another thing that we talked about was theming. And I love this idea of theming a class. And so when you think about what you can do to theme a class, like if you picked one word to theme a class, you could weave that theme into so many things. So the music could be part of the theme. Your words, you can use mudras and mantras that weave that theme throughout the entire practice. And obviously the poses as well. And I just think that is so cool. And personally, as not only a yoga teacher that's going through training, but a person that has practiced yoga for a long time, the classes that I remember are themed. I mean, if you think about when you first started and what classes you would really remember, it was themed classes because they had something that consistently weaved out throughout the class, and it gets in your brain because you have to hear something. It's proven that you have to hear something multiple times before it gets stuck in there. And so if a teacher keeps a theme for an hour in a class or 75 minutes, it's more likely that it's going to stick in their brain and stay with them longer. So I loved that concept. Just really, really enjoyed it. And the other reason that I picked the word togetherness for weekend number 7 is that we were put in our final groups so we have to teach a class at the end, that's pass or fail. And so we were put in our small groups to teach that class. And so we are further bonding our togetherness as a group as well. And it's really fun for our relationships to grow. I have such a love for everyone in class because we're going on this journey together. And it's just been a lot of fun to really bond, and they put us in groups. And so I didn't necessarily know everyone in my group that well because, with a group of 22 people, you just don't get to know every single person very well, although we know each other. So it's fun to connect with other people and to work on a group project. Some people don't like group projects and some people do, but it's really fun for me to look forward to our final project of teaching a class all together. And so I am only responsible for 20 minutes of the class, and I super excited. Get the end part, which is what I wanted. So if you're watching this and you're in my group, thank you for letting me have the part that I wanted. And it was fun because we all really ended up with what we wanted, as far as I know. And it was a lot of fun to see how different personalities gravitate towards different parts of the class, which was neat, and working together and even just weaving a theme throughout different people teaching is a neat idea too. So all of that to say, there was a lot of togetherness, and I am excited for weekend number 8 and looking forward to it. So until next time, see you later.